Hello people, so welcome to my review of One Piece chapter 1048. And obviously One Piece was on break because of Golden Week, but now that's over. We reached chapter 1048 to go over, and following the hype that was episode 1015, I was very intrigued to see how this chapter will play out, considering what could be Luffy's final attack. Looks like this fight isn't quite over just yet, which I'm glad about, but it does bring up an interesting point, which I kind of made a prediction ended before March. Obviously that didn't play out because here we are in May, but I did place another prediction, and it's this fight could end before chapter 1050 or it would end on chapter 1050, and after this chapter we're literally a chapter away from chapter 1050. But let's start off with the cover page with the adventures of Germa trying to flee Whole Cake Island, and to me it's interesting because we got Brûlé and Cracker. You got Brûlé trying to reach into the mirror, and the other speech bubble is they're looking for Reiju and Ichiji, which they look like they're infiltrating Chocolate Town to try and get back Yonji and Niji. So I don't know if she's going to reach in and literally she's going to be pulled by the business smokes, because they literally could use her to get through mirror to mirror and infiltrate that way, because the last time we saw Ichiji and Yonji, they were literally about to be dissected. But also point to the fact that Judge is with them as well, so he could play a role. Although I've said this, I'm probably going to sound like a broken record, but I think there has to be some resolution between Reiju and Pudding. I just think that makes sense, considering they're the only two characters outside of Zeph and the Straw Hats who actually care about Sanji. But we'll have to wait and see where that goes. But speaking of which, we start off the chapter with Luffy's attack coming down on Kaido, and as you expected, he didn't move out of the way, but he does counter it. But before then, Luffy's coaching on Momonosuke to create the flying clouds. He has to try and control Onigashima, and while this is happening, Kaido goes back into dragon form to tank Luffy's attack. He turns into Magma, which this may be the best Kaido's looked in his dragon form. So he's using the Magma dragon form, which is epic in itself, and it does resemble the final attack that King used against Zoro before he got taken down, so that was kind of cool. And obviously because of this, Luffy's hand is burning. He has a hold of Kaido while he's about to attack Kaido with his giant fist, and Luffy actually refers to it as Gama Gama no before he launches the attack. That's kind of like Oda giving us an answer to if he was going to get an upgrade. We don't know if this is going to be the final attack, but as of right now he hasn't upgraded, which I think is pretty cool, that he doesn't stray away from what makes Luffy Luffy. Despite his devil fruit being the Nika Nika model, what's cool about this also is what Luffy's thinking about when he was learning to use Rio with Hyogoro, and he actually uses Rio on this attack. So because he's like literally saying, I'm not going to make any contact with you, but I'm still going to send you straight down to hell, which is a pretty epic line for Luffy to say. Even though we don't get the conclusion of the attack, we'll probably have to wait until the next chapter, possibly if it's going to be a stalemate, and then it's going to lead into another final clash. But we actually get like Usopp freaking out because obviously the water that Raizo and Jinbei teamed up to use to like put out the flames is like washing away, like I thought the devil fruit users. So this wore out Hamlet, who was carrying Ukiku and Kinemon. So he drops them, and Usopp's freaking out like, don't die, please be alive. We go to Kawamatsu, and this triggers the flashback to 20 years ago, the aftermath of Kozuki Oden's execution. But then, just like last chapter, we got a different perspective. The last chapter, it was Momonosuke hesitant to leave Hiyori and Toki behind, along with the Scabbers, to go 20 years into the future. He didn't want to do it, but Kinemon gave him the pep talk, so you're the heir to the throne, so you need to step up. At the perspective, I guess, of Orochi and Kaido. Even though it made the ending somewhat satisfying, I do have a gripe with that, which I'll get into by the end with Orochi. Kaido's like, oh, he has a son, so I'll deal with him myself. I don't know why he didn't think about killing him back then, but we actually get an interesting perspective of Kaido just completely demolishing Samurai. He's like, stop, don't go after the Kozuki clan, please have mercy. And then Orochi's like, don't hesitate to kill anyone who defies the Shogun, obviously being the scumbag that he is. So after Lady Toki dies, they go to see the daimyo of Wano, all four of them, and we know they end up getting taken out with the exception of Yasui, including what looks to be Zoro's father. We still don't know. with Uchimaru Shimotsuki, we still don't know what his connection with Zoro really is. We do know Yamato has a connection with Uchimaru Shimotsuki, and I wonder, because we know she has an established connection with Ace, obviously, who is deeply close with Luffy. So I'm wondering if she's gonna make reference when she sees Zoro. Oh, you remind me of the daimyo I met back a long time ago who saved me, Uchimaru Shimotsuki. And I wonder if that's going to spark something within Zoro once he wakes up. Because I feel like that moment has to come. There's no reason to have Yamato, have someone who looks like Zoro save Yamato's life if it's not going to lead anywhere. But we know they end up getting killed. Kaido goes to dragon form, which is kind of poetic considering that's the mode he's currently in right now. So that we get different panels of all the stuff that Orochi's doing, like building the udon factory, getting Samurai of Wano able to help them out, manufacture weapons. You got this smile, devil fruits. So even though they're in despair, they'll always be smiling. Obviously, we know that from Wano Act 2. And for whatever reason, it looks like somebody actually committed suicide because we see a news cover with blood. So that's really dark. Why would you focus on that? This drags us into the present with Orochi about to attack Hiyori. And just like I thought, somebody did interfere. And I can't say I'm shocked. It has ended up being Denjiro who ends up blocking the attack. I do like how Orochi kind of resembles Kaido right now, because they're both partners in crime, even though if you think one's cooler than the other, the fact of the matter is they're both guilty of this, and they're both going to be taken down. The only thing I like about the downfall of Orochi is it goes in with the wishes of the people of Wano at the Fire Festival. We know that's coming to an end, and what I like about this is like this is pretty much countering what Orochi says to Hiyori before Denjiro shows up. It's like, I'll be seeing you in hell, we can drink together down there. And then obviously that coincides with the wishes being fulfilled, like free us from the cell, give us some clear water to drink, and then the final wish is making Orochi disappear, which Denjiro pretty much ends up doing. I do have a gripe with this, and it's the same gripe I had with ending of the Nami ulti fight, with how much build up and how much setup there was in Nami taking down ulti, only for it to be undermined and overshadowed by Usopp and Zeus being upgraded. I don't care what you say, considering how it was built up, with the first moment being with Nami saying Luffy will become King of the Pirates, and that emotional moment, and it was an emotional moment. And then furthermore, when Nami smacks the hell out of Ulti, said, I'm going to beat the hell out of you, I'm going to beat you into a pulp for hitting Otama. So that was the build up she needed to like take her down. You already had help with Big Mom. I didn't like how that was handled, and I don't like how this was handled, even though I kind of knew this was going to happen with somebody interfering. I said it before, and I said it multiple times. I don't know why it was set up that Hiyori was stating that she wanted to be the one to kill Orochi. Unless he regenerates, then no, it's not going to happen. Because, again, and the reason for it is because you set that, number one, you set that moment since Wano Act 2, and number two, why is Hiyori there in the first place? If that was never going to be the case. Only for Hiyori to be saved, I don't like that. Because when you consider that Momonosuke is going to get the bulk of the spotlight anyway. We haven't seen Denjiro in how long, and conveniently just shows up. So I'm not a fan of that. It was an okay chapter, but I wish the ending to the Orochi Hiyori could have been resolved in a different way. Again, that was my only gripe of this chapter. Other than that, it was a pretty straightforward, simple chapter. The chapter ended with the way it started, with Luffy and Kaido clashing. And if you notice, the clouds in the sky are beginning to drift apart, which means it's a Conqueror's hockey clash. And keep in mind, Luffy's using Rio too, so I don't know if this is going to force Kaido down. And actually, go back to the beginning of this chapter when Luffy and Kaido are about to clash. Kaido's like, you don't need to like destroy Onigashima. Like, no, I'm going to burn it down by using my Magma mode. But Luffy's like, no, I'm not going to let that happen. There is an element of danger here, because if Luffy's attack goes through and Kaido ends up falling down, that might injure a lot of people. So I'm just saying, the coolest moment for me is Kaido, a different variation of his dragon form. In this case, he's using Magma, which is the way, like I said, King referenced his final attack against Zoro, so that was actually pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think down below. Like I said, a very straightforward chapter. That's going to do it for you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Like the review if you did, a thumbs up, I appreciate that. Subscribe, channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.